County with Butch and Coffee, and we're back from Indy, folks.
He survived!
Woohoo! And for the most part, and yes, for the most part, we've tested negative.
Yep.
We haven't actually got tested yet, but I assume we're negative because it's been like 14 days and we have shown no symptoms.
I found out last night that my girlfriend may be in contact with someone who got it.
Oh, so, no.
Whoopie doo.
All right, so Butch may actually have the virus. But let's not talk about the virus. Let's talk about a lot of other things. Biggest story in the past 2 weeks, Drew Brees retired.
Yeah,
he's done.
Give me 1 second, folks.
While Butch handles that.
Much better. Drew Brees has got off to Valhalla. The man that was pretty much cooked.
New Orleans' greatest hero.
Yeah, after his little bout in San Diego, no one thought he would rise to the ranks of one of the all-time greats. One Super Bowl to show for it. And the all-time touchdown record. What was it? The all-time passing yards record. I think the most passing yards in a season for all time. This man,
I want to say yes to all those.
This man accomplished so much. It's a shame he didn't win more Super Bowls for the Saints, a team that had long been the basement of mediocrity before he got to New Orleans.
And then this is all before the hurricane, and the hurricane just made things worse for them. But they came back and they won a Super Bowl, and the city's spirits were lifted. They were celebrating on Bourbon Street, and then they could never recapture that magic.
I need to clarify something real fast.
I am listening.
He did have the record, but Brady passed him. For the all-time touchdowns. Oh, spoilers. Oh, spoilers. How cruel fate must be.
Well, technically, I think he still holds the most regular season yards all time. Yes. But it's only like, 1,000 yards more?
Yes.
Yeah, only about 1,000. So, Brady's going to break that.
Brady's going to break that. All right, but enough about the greatness of Tampa Brady.
Here's to 5 more years of Bucks domination, folks. Here's to no more parity in the NFL. Here's to barring an incident where where it's basically Patriots Titans all over again. Barring something like that or Patriots Giants. We're going to see Tom Brady in a few more Super Bowls.
Look who's drinking the Buccaneer Kool-Aid.
I'm not drinking the Buccaneers Kool-Aid. I'm drinking the Buffalo Bills hooch or whatever they drink to throw themselves through flaming tables. Because my little friend, as Butch refers to as Mitchell Kissing Titties, is now a Bill.
Yes, he has gone to greener pastures, or I guess whiter pastures.
Well, here's the thing about this that makes it so great to me is that, like I said, if this turns into another Patriots Titans or Patriots Giants situation, and Buffalo somehow wins it all, that means Trubisky could get a ring from this.
I'll say that.
It's a big if, but it could happen. He's got a better chance of getting the ring with them than he did with the Bears. Speaking of the Bears,
I feel like if you're going to say that, I'm going to say Carson Wentz has a better chance of getting a ring with the Colts.
Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that. Okay.
Oh, that is a far off assessment when you think of it. That's on the line skew between the left and the right.
That is a scary thought.
I'm only going to say this right now for the Bills, and this is no threat to Josh Allen's job and whatnot. But the writing's on the wall, and Allen needs to win now. This is only to inspire him to say, hey, we have gotten a quarterback that could replace you. Prove us wrong. Go out and win.
But is Mitchell Trubisky really that much of a replacement? I'm
only going to say yes because I still think he has something to prove.
It's almost like saying, it's like, let's take it in the case of Seattle. It's like, hey, Russell Wilson, we brought in, let's say, Jameis Winston. We brought him in. If you don't win us a Super Bowl in the next year or two, there's your replacement. Do you really think that's a lot? That's a fair assessment to say that if you don't win now, we're going to replace you with someone worse.
See, the difference is Jameis didn't win anything. Trubisky did.
Let's be fair. I'm going back. Yes, I was on the
on the
bandwagon for 12-4, but that was all defense. Let's be fair. That was all defense.
I know the example you're trying to make, but you got to remember the two men you're comparing to. One led his team to a surprise NFC North title. The other man had a turnover factory. He went 30-30 in his last season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yes, as of right now, he is going to be the starter in New Orleans. So, Saints fans, I hope you have your alcohol stored up because you're going to need it.
I hope you make yourself right at home at all the bars on Bourbon Street because you're going to be doing nothing but drinking and sulking at your team.
The bars are going to be at full capacity because, my God, we're going to have a lot of angry and bitter Saints fans.
Oh, yes.
Speaking of angry and bitter, Cincinnati is leaving Chicago, and Chicago was in need of a quarterback.
We could have got Deshaun Watson outside the cases.
Hey, coffee. There was a lot of big names available. Oh, how the Bears wanted their shiny new toy to show off. They seeked out Russ, and they seeked out Deshaun Watson.
Before the cases, but we'll get more into that.
But then a man emerged out of the shadows and out of the cloud. That man is NFL journeyman Andy Dalton. Congratulations, Bears. You are fucked.
Okay, of all people, you could have got Russell Wilson. I would love that. All Chicago would love if you got Russell Wilson. You could have got Deshaun Watson. Before these cases, he was actually looking like a fair candidate.
However, with these cases, we will get to that.
With these cases, he's
I have an interesting take on it.
All right.
Andy Dalton did come from the other team in Texas. He came from Jerry World. Off of a season where he had to back up Dak Prescott, and that was thrown into the star role after Dak suffered a horrific injury. Andy Dalton proved he's still got some left in the tank. The question is, how is he going to fare in Chicago, knowing he is getting the starting role as soon as he takes the field in week 1 in September? In the 33-year-old, I'm not going to call it, I know I used the word journeyman, but he was on the Bengals for a long time. I kind of forgot that, but he has been guaranteed the starting job in Chicago. He has been guaranteed the starting job over Nick Foles.
There was a tweet that the Chicago Bears tweeted out a few days ago that just said QB1, and it's him in a Bears jersey. Again, let me go back to it. You could have got Russell Wilson. Chicago will love that. You could have got Deshaun Watson, before these cases. Of all the people you could have got, you settle on motherfucking Andy Dalton. In reality, I would have lost my shit at this. I would be screaming from the Raptors fuck Ryan Pace, fuck the McCaskies, fuck everyone. But you know what? Considering what we really had to do to get the others, this was literally the best we can do.
For the Windy City, though, was this worse than Foles last year?
Well, I would say it was worse. I would say it was worse than Foles because with Nick Foles, we didn't really have a shy anyone else. Now, basically, no one said they wanted to come to the Bears. Now, when we first heard that Russell Wilson said, "I'll take a trade and I would like to go," and Bears was one of the teams, I thought, "Holy shit, we actually might be able to pull something off." With Watson, we were in competition. We were in conversation for him, before the cases, and we were like, "Holy shit, we actually could get someone." And they settle on Andy Dalton. Like I said, I could be screaming, but I thought, well, it could be worse. They could say, "Hey, we're gonna go get a new quarterback," and then after a month say, "We're just gonna settle on Nick Foles again." It could have been worse.
It only sucks because in your division you got Kirk Cousins with Vikings. You got a pissed off Aaron Rodgers that might potentially consider maybe the Packers in due time. And then you had the Lions who traded away Matthew Stafford and got Jared Goff.
Do you know how humiliating? I will say this: it would be utterly humiliating come the NFL season if we lose to Jared Goff. I'm just gonna say it right now. That would be utterly humiliating because it shows that, hey, this guy that worked out great in LA came to the Lions and he's still going great. This guy and Trubisky, the guy we trade up to get, we told him to fuck off. It would just be like the biggest, like you joke about the Quinn Trisha era, how much you guys failed. We are literally in that era of failure right now. If Andy Dalton doesn't deliver.
After a brief whiff of success, you guys have stumbled
and that's what makes it hurt more is that we had that success, we tasted it, we thought we could actually go somewhere, and then it's like, nope, it turns out nope, it was just a fluke.
You guys had honestly one of the greatest defenses the NFL's seen the last couple of years, and you guys suffered a heartbreaking playoff loss on a double doink.
Okay. This is
enjoy mediocrity with Andy Dalton. That's all I'm gonna say.
This is the only thing I will say about Andy Dalton. This is the hope. That one thing about the Bears, I would say, is that if you can limit a team to what's the average points per game in the NFL? Do you have that offhand, Butch?
Not offhand, but I'm gonna say maybe about 24 points.
You actually might be right. Hold on, I actually have like a website I can look this up. All right, so average score per team in the NFL per game. The average score is about 24.75. This was this past year.
Ow.
So
I was on the dot, baby.
Yeah. So let's say it this way: if the Bears can keep that under 20, which with their defense they should, great. When the Bears can only score 15 points per game, that's not good.
That's gonna hurt you guys.
So I would rather be in a position where, okay, let's say we give up, say 30, 31 points per game, but we score 30 points per game. I'm more comfortable with that because I'm like, hey, at least we can try to keep it close. And that's all I'm hoping Andy Dalton can do, is just do your best to keep it close.
We can't over-rely on one side of the ball to bail you out if the other side is absolute trash.
Yes.
Absolute disgusting garbage.
Which is why I'm hoping, like, for a balance, is like, if the we lost a few key pieces on defense, so I'm hoping, the defense might suffer, but I'm hoping our offense will get better. That's all I can hope for, because outside of that, we're screwed. We are literally screwed.
The week one comes and goes. I'll have a nice bottle of liquor with your name on it.
Shit. I will get whatever the Bills fans are drinking. And here's this. I will say this for the record, and I will go through with this. If the Lions manage to beat the Bears twice this year, if they manage to sweep the Bears, I will jump through a flaming table.
All right.
On the condition
I'll have to make the pilgrimage to Indiana.
Okay, the only circumstance, what's the word for it? The only condition of this deal is that you have to provide the table.
That's fine. I'll go to Home Depot and buy the cheapest table they have.
Okay, wait. Someone help me out here. Do the Bills fans actually set their tables on fire before they jump through them? I want to say they don't.
For the most part, no. For the most part, no.
It's just so that's me thinking of ECW
no.
then.
Just I'll have you jump through a table.
All right, just have me jump through a table. Because
we will live stream, and I will witness you jump through a table.
Because to be fair, if I want to jump through a flaming table, I go to Philadelphia and do it. For those that don't know what I mean, look up ECW. And I am telling you to look up ECW. It's safe to look up ECW. Just don't look up light tube matches like Butch did. All right. Speaking of someone, as we're moving on from one team that's fucked to another team that's fucked, we're rather not a team, more a person. Yeah, Deshaun Watson.
One of your suitors has
16 cases now. It started with 4, and now it's.
And if you're wondering what we're not referring to COVID cases, we're referring to sexual assault cases. Yes, apparently Deshaun Watson is a sexual predator.
Oh my god! The fact,
however, this needs some clarification.
Go ahead.
Because there is conspiracy that the attorney that is representing all the women apparently lives down the street from one of the McNairs, aka one of the team owners of the Houston Texans. There is something a little bit smelly about that revelation. But when you look at the cases and the picture that it paints, I mean, my God, Deshaun, if these allegations are true, and it sounds like quite a few of them are true.
If even one of them's true,
your career is almost guaranteed to be over.
I wouldn't say it's guaranteed to be over, because unfortunately this is the NFL, but I will say this. Good luck finding a team that will take you. It's not going to happen.
Especially considering that you don't want anything to do with this current regime. You don't want anything to do with Houston anymore.
Now let's say there's 2 or more cases.
Not with the new GM.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Let's say there's 2 or more, or even 3 or more cases. Yeah, this guy, he's done. He is done. I do not ever see him coming back from this if more than one of them is true. Or let me rephrase that. Let's give the victims benefit of the doubt. Let's also assume Deshaun Watson is innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Because we believe in a fair
system. We have to assume with the justice system.
I really hate to say this. I really, really hate to say this, but we have seen at some points where some women will make this up to jump on the bandwagon of this guy's
The Bill Cosby case comes to mind, and yes, he was a serial monster.
A majority of those were true, though. A majority of those cases were true.
But the pieces of shit that came out and accused him, and then
others that tried to hop on the bandwagon, they're to me, you're just as bad because you're
seeking the limelight. That's the fucked up part. You're taking away justice,
and it makes
from the men and women that truly deserve it.
To quote Law and Order, it makes it harder for real victims to come forward. Now that quote's not from Law and Order, but that's why I hear all the time in Law and Order SVU, where they say if the case is fake, it makes it hard for the real victims to come out. This is exactly what they're doing.
Amen to that statement.
But I'm willing to say first, Deshaun's innocent until proven guilty. But if he is guilty, fuck that guy. If he's guilty of 1, fuck that guy.
If he's guilty of multiple.
Oh, if he's guilty of multiple, he's.
May God have mercy on your soul.
May God have mercy on your soul, because let's face it.
There's a special place in hell for you.
There's not only a special place in hell for you. I can expect a full blown. You can't show your face in public. You're gonna get attacked on the street now.
Another man that is
getting tired there, Butch.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like 11 o'clock where he's at. It's 10 where I'm at. It's 2 different time zones, folks.
Folks, it has been a very long day. Now we must focus on another Texan, but one that has rightfully seek passage out in the desert. J.J. Watt, folks. J.J. Watt is no longer a Houston Texan.
I think we covered that.
I'm sorry. I just had to dick punch Houston harder, especially
you want to keep dick punching Houston? Oh, we can dick punch Houston all day. Because if you really want to dick punch Houston, let's remember there have been teams in Texas that have been more relevant than the Texans ever will be, and they're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that is true. That is very, very true. Hey, at least the Oilers had more success than you. Oh, the Oilers? You don't remember them? The team that fucked off to Nashville? Yeah, you guys shared one thing in common. Shitty owners.
Yeah.
It's at Pete Sons.
All right.
Nepotism runs well in Texas, apparently.
And yet you have very little Super Bowl success in the past 20 years.
Wait. I know we probably weren't going to cover this. Did you hear about Dan Snyder?
Oh my God, what did he do this time?
Oh my God, he bought up more of the Washington football team. Yes, if you're wondering, about 43%. Apparently, he's buying out more of the minority owners, which means he's going to have a full stake in the Deadskins, folks. Washington.
Okay, so let's assume he has complete total control over the entire team.
Oh my God.
How long before he tries to bring the Redskins back? How long before he tries? Or better yet, how long before? Or better yet, here's what I imagine. He'll come up with some dumbass name. And then,
he said he would never change. He would never change the name. Put it in caps, and then his backers, his companies started to refuse to support the team. So money became a factor.
All right.
Now that he has full control, he might just say "fuck it," pull a 180, and incorporate the Redskins name.
I would say at that point, Goodell would say something. It says, "No, we're not doing that." And Dan Snyder would actually get into a screaming match with Roger Goodell. You know what? Dana White, if you're listening, I know you're not listening, but Dana White, whatever Dana White God out there can hear me, make this a fight. Dan Snyder, Roger Goodell, put them in the octagon.
Make this a pay-per-view event with Jerry Jones as the ref.
No. Jerry Jones will be a commentator, not the ref. I guarantee you this will do more buys than Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. It would do way more buys. Shit, this will do more buys than WrestleMania. And that's in what, a week? 2 weeks? I don't fucking know when WrestleMania is anymore. I stopped watching WWE. But we will cover WrestleMania on this show, folks. I have to. As my duty as a wrestling fan, I have to cover it because I covered the AEW Revolution show. But outside of that, yeah.
Hear that, folks? The man has priorities, apparently.
I have priorities
he must fulfill.
Other priorities include the fact that we have to do a certain amount of NASCAR content per week, especially since this week is the Bristol Dirt Race. Holy
shortest track in America, folks.
The shortest track in America is now turned into a good old-fashioned dirt track. And I saw footage of practice. I saw Martin Truex Jr. spin out, and I thought, how many of these spin outs are we going to get on dirt?
Oh, is it within the grant? Is it within the infield?
No,
where it's going to be?
No, literally, the whole track is covered in dirt. The whole track. I wonder what the hell the tires.
I don't know whether or not to laugh or cry.
I feel like this will be personally. I think this will be a fun thing to do if it wasn't a regular season race. This is a regular season race for points towards the shitty ass NASCAR.
Did they just put dirt?
Yes, that's literally what they did. They just put dirt in there. They changed the format too. It's now like heat races, I believe. But oh my god, I saw this. I thought, How the hell? Because
this sounds so redneck. This sounds so Alabama. Like Alabama.
like I said, I would have loved this idea
intensely.
if it was a normal race, didn't count for anything. The fact that this actually counts towards the championship is bogus.
Hey, Bob, we gotta go down to the track. There's dirt there.
This is not the first time they did. I think in 2011, they had World of Outlaws do a race there.
Oh my god!
I'm sure.
I'm in disbelief right now that they have that.
I was in disbelief when I saw this, and I thought they're actually going through with this.
No, let's be honest. At least they're able to complete it. Unlike the Suez Canal, folks. Yes, sir. The Evergreen Beam has made it to Cellar County. Oh my god, I almost didn't finish that fucking quote.
Oh my god. I'm still okay, sidebar folks. I'm still in shock about that whole Suez Canal thing because I thought
something like that would happen.
That's 2021 in a nutshell, folks. Is the whatever the fuck, what's the fuck the name of it? The Evergreen clogging up the Suez Canal and fucking up the world
traffic
economy.
And bringing up Somali pirates. And the memes that have come out of this incident have been magnanimous.
Have you seen the Always Sunny in Philadelphia memes from it?
Yes. Yes,
those are great.
You go around the horn here, you go through the Suez Canal like a Democrat. The canal, you go around the horn the way God intended.
Oh my god. All right, so anyway.
Oh my god. We have lost cabin pressure, folks.
We have lost cabin pressure, and we are completely gone off the rails. Let's try to get back on.
Speaking of going off the rails, we need to focus on the ice now.
Yes.
The likely hockey scenario. A hot mic incident was caught where a ref was talking about wanting to get a early penalty against the Nashville Predators in a game against the Red Wings. The NHL's response to X said ref, even though, and this is news I just found out, his intention was to retire at the end of this season.
Wow.
Is this overblown?
I feel like...
Is this a big deal?
Okay. This is a big deal because, again, hot mic incident. He was caught on his microphone saying this. And the thing is, when you're caught on a hot mic and everyone can hear it, you know you're in deep shit. Because he could have kept that to himself. We know a lot of refs out there probably would keep that to themselves. But no. He said it. He got caught saying it. The NHL had to punish him. But do I think firing him was the best way to do it?
No.
I feel like you took the harshest option available and just said, we'll just do that. Of course, now all the refs in the NHL are now watching their backs saying, okay, let's not say something. But you know what the solution was? You know what the solution was? I'm just gonna go say something about the Red Wings for a second.
You ought to be
in case you didn't realize, I just turned my fucking mic off. I covered my fucking mic. So they couldn't hear all the shit I just said. That's what the refs are doing now. They're covering their mics so they don't get caught saying shit they shouldn't say. This whole situation is almost like, of all the stupid things to happen in the NHL, this is perhaps the funniest thing. Because it wasn't a player, it was a referee. Who, let's be fair, we don't follow these referees as much as we do players or owners or any of our front office staff. So now Tim Peel is famous for being that guy.
And let's be honest, it's not like he said a slur.
No, he didn't say
like
slur. He just said,
racial.
I need to call a penalty on this team. That's what he said.
Wanted to call. It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a fucking penalty against Nashville early. And Nashville won the game too. That's the other thing. Instead of just reprimanding him for maybe the rest of the season, like, hey, let's have you take a break. You'll come back next season, like get some discipline or get some training and just make sure this doesn't happen again. Nope, we're going to fire you. Nope, we're going to take your meal ticket and we're going to boot you out the door.
I think because of the fact he was retiring.
And fuck you.
I think because he was retiring, that played into the factor. Instead of just
it's fucked up, dude. It's
fucked up. It's fucked up. It's stupid, but again, there have been dumber things in the NHL.
Way dumber things.
You know what this whole thing reminds me of? And it would have been hilarious if we had a hot mic back in the early 2000s. You remember what happened between the Sacramento Kings and the LA Lakers in the NBA playoffs?
Yes.
What if we had a hot mic on Tim himself?
Holy shit, on Tim Donaghy?
Yeah.
Oh my.
If we had a hot mic on him, this whole situation could have been resolved. Or at the very least,
always proven that series was rigged.
It would prove. I think it would just give a lot of Sacramento Kings fans some comfort that they knew that this ref was against them, and there's proof that he said he was against them at that time.
Like I said, it's fucked up that we're even here talking about these hot mic incidents because we had the incident last year. With Cincinnati Reds.
How many incidents have we had in the past 3 years? In the past, the past 5 years. Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson, the owner of the Seattle Mariners. I can't think of his name right now. How many people have got in trouble for saying shit with a microphone
Jesus
nearby?
Christ! Right now we're just like we already got a handful, dude. Christ, I didn't think about that.
It's hilarious.
All right, folks. Here's a tidbit. If you're gonna say something controversial, don't say it out loud.
Well, here's the one thing. If you're gonna say something controversial, don't say it out loud. And if you do want to say it out loud, make sure there's no recording devices nearby.
Exactly. Oh, let's make sure you're not wearing wire. Oh, let's make sure I'm not wearing a mic. Let's make sure.
Oh, let's make sure this microphone's not from me as I talk shit about the Red Wings ownership, or I talk shit about the Bears ownership, or as I tell Ryan Pace to go fuck himself. That, my friends, is an example of a hot mic incident.
Call my cohort a word you can't repeat on television. or I refer to coffee as one of them boys.
See, you already crossed the line. You said boy. You said boy. You already crossed the line there.
I tell coffee to go get me my drink.
Or as I tell Butch to stop.
Or I tell Butch to just crack her ass up. We don't want one of those. You're one of those people, huh?
Ladies and gentlemen, we just basically described everything wrong with the entire history of hot mic incidents and everything you should not say in front of a microphone.
Oh man, I wanted to go further, but oh man, I feel like we'd have to edit out what I was about to say.
No problem. We'll just cut to black, play Temptation Sensation, and show some shots of Detroit.
Cut to black.
No, cut to black. Put up a title saying Butch and Coffee get caught on microphone, and then have Temptation Sensation played and shots of Detroit. If you don't know what Temptation Sensation is, folks, that's the theme to It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So you know exactly how fucking wrong this is, but you laugh anyway. Because they're horrible people. And surprisingly charming. They're surprisingly charming while being horrible people. We're not charming. We can actually get in trouble for saying this.
Or anything far from charming.
No.
What despicable little rascals.
All right. Okay, so last thing we got to cover for the night is a big announcement out in the land of the rising sun. Tokyo 2021, the Olympics are going to be held with no fans. No fans can get into this.
Another casualty of the corona. Another casualty to the government of Japan because they are expected to lose out on almost $1 billion of revenue. Olympic venue, Olympic host, excuse me.
Actually,
that was
let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase the other report. It's not that fans will be completely banned. It's that foreign fans will be banned from the Olympics.
So if you're from the U.S., Canada,
any country
I was about to say Guam. Wow, I'm way off of my geography. Australia, China, anywhere outside Japan, even North Korea, folks, you're not going to the Olympics.
You're not going to go to the Olympics in person.
Hopefully you get that refund. Although they're already saying there's already problems with that right now. If you're in Japan, you had the infrastructure, the existing infrastructure, public transportation, stadiums, hotels, and other entertainment venues before the pandemic to host the Olympics. You were expected to profit. Something that has not been seen since London. And before that, I think it was Salt Lake was the last one that was profitable. All the other ones, Athens, Beijing, Brazil, Sochi, they were all deeply
was Vancouver a profit or not?
Vancouver broke even from what I heard.
I still consider this an absolute win for them.
Japan?
No, for Vancouver. You're one of the only few to not lose a lot of money on this.
The only thing I remember from Vancouver was the bobsledder that died. Not the bobsledder, you know what I'm talking about.
Skeleton?
The skeleton.
Was a skeleton or luge? Was it skeleton or luge? Which?
It was luge. It was luge. That's how I remember Vancouver.
I remember Vancouver for the U.S.-Canada hockey men's finals.
Holy shit, dude! That final.
That game was amazing.
I was in a hockey stadium. My brother was playing hockey, and everyone was watching a box TV in the concession area, and everyone was screaming bloody murder. But the U.S. lost to Canada. That was a
that hurt. That one hurt.
That was when I hated Sidney Crosby. That was when
Was that the beginning of your hatred, or is that just the coming full circle?
That was peak. That was the peak. This was after the Pens had beat us in 2009. This was at my peak hate before I really started to hate LeBron. This was right before the move. The decision.
Wow, okay, so you hated
ago,
LeBron long before I did.
Yes. I hated LeBron specifically for the decision. That was the moment.
I was about to say, the decision was the moment where I was like, you know what? Screw this guy. I hope he doesn't get a ring.
The decision to me, and this, I don't want to go out on this little tangent, but I have to. The decision is the line that this is a line athletes do not cross. This is a line people do not cross. You do not go on television and tell a city to go fuck itself. Going somewhere else.
All right, so here's the thing.
No time in history will this ever happen again, and LeBron did it. LeBron captured a stereotype, a meme. He summed up a horrific thing in one quote, "I'm taking my talents to South Beach." By uttering that quote, he entered a whole new genre of hatred and utter disbelief. Has not been crossed ever since.
Well, here's my thing. Here's my thing about the decisions itself. How much of that was really LeBron? How much of that was the media hype surrounding where he was going to go?
50-50. I will put 50-50.
That's all I'm saying is that I don't fully... Yeah, the decisions where I start to hate LeBron, but I don't put the decision fully on him. I put that on... the media taking advantage of this.
On him for
but LeBron could have just kept it quiet. LeBron could have just kept quiet. No, he made a public show of it to all these teams before the decision.
Which was disgusting, and it literally felt like something out of reality TV.
And which is why it's never been done again.
Good. It shouldn't be done again.
To be fair, I wouldn't say it's never been done again, because when I consider signing day for all the college sports, where you have all the players sitting around with the hats and they do that, but it's never been at this high a level, I would say.
All right. We have.
I was about to say I was gonna let you go on your tangent because outside of no fans being at the Olympics, there's really nothing else to say.
That was my tangent. That was my spiel, and that's pretty much where I draw the line in terms of something you cross that you cannot go back. Even if you come to my team and win multiple championships, I will never forgive you for something like that.
All I was saying is that I'm actually fine you went on this tangent because outside of saying everything about no fans being in Tokyo, there's really nothing else to say.
Here's what I wanted to say about the Olympics. Yes, I know with 2020 happening, we yearned to get back to normal, or we seek out things that we missed out. I'm not saying I would have went to Tokyo for the Olympics. However, I do have a desire to attend the Olympics. Yes, the U.S. is hosting in 2028, and yes, it's in the rotting shithole that is Los Angeles. At the same time, say I have attended an Olympic event. Even if it's track and field at the Coliseum, I will be in LA in 2028. What bums me out about Tokyo? But
I was about to say, you're about to be there for 2020 Olympics. Mm-hmm. Would you go for the 2026 World Cup?
No, because I really don't give a shit about soccer.
See, I would rather go for the World Cup, but that's just me.
The Olympics have prestige, dude.
So does the World Cup. So does the World Cup.
The World Cup is a bunch of drunk idiots getting around and fist fighting each other if their team doesn't win. Yeah, and you're talking about FIFA, the world's biggest corrupt fucking sports organization in the world.
Yeah, if you have, we say the same thing about the
any respect for the sport of soccer, you will not support the World fucking Cup.
I would say the same thing about the NFL. If you want to be ticky tack, if you have any support for the sport of football, don't say anything to the anthem.
Oh, boo-hoo! They blackballed one player.
Oh, it's a history of shit.
Blackballed the entire nations. You know what they did with Brazil and their no alcohol policy? Budweiser was a fucking sponsor and they rewrote the fucking law!
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Butch lose his mind over a sport that he doesn't even give a fuck about.
FIFA is so goddamn corrupt! They should be on the UN watch list! You have the World Cup in fucking Qatar! A country that is literally killing
I could go on a whole
workers to build their fucking stadiums.
Look, I could go on a full rant about them. Hey, Butch, shut the fuck up. Let me say this. We can go on a whole rant about Qatar. We can go on a whole rant about everything FIFA has done. But what you're saying is that, what I'm trying to say is that the World Cup, the event, the World Cup, not the sponsor, the event still is prestige. Just like the Super Bowl still is prestige. Even though it's run by the NFL, who has their own skeletons. All I'm saying is that the event still has prestige, and we should celebrate that. Just like the Olympics still has prestige, even with all the shit the Olympics, all their skeletons. Every league has skeletons in the closet, but that doesn't take away of the prestige of the event that's happening in front of us. That's all I'm saying.
Did go a little crazy there, folks.
You did go a little crazy there. You were right about a lot of things. You did go crazy there. All I'm saying is that, see what really got me there is that you tried to basically, when I brought up the NFL, you basically said the NFL didn't do, they blackballed. I'm like, you're willing to tell me that the NFL, with all the shit they done, everything that happened with Colin Kaepernick was one incident compared to the many, many incidents the NFL's had. And
I'm just highlighting the biggest fuck up that the NFL did. The biggest fuck up.
And yes, the FIFA World Cup being hosted in a country that, let's be fair, not only is that country has so many human rights violations, but their team is absolute shit. This team should never be classified as a FIFA. If I could,
do you know where Qatar is?
No one knows where the fuck it is. No one. You can pull me a fucking map. And I suck at geography, folks. I couldn't tell you where this fucking country is. I would think it's like a speck.
In December, they're expecting games to reach temperatures of above 100 degrees. And if you know one thing about sports, you generally don't play sports in triple digits. You are stupid if you decide to host a event in triple digit heat in the middle of the desert.
Wow. We just
and built in a stadium.
We were talking about the Olympics, and we got off on a whole tangent how Qatar is just a shit nation full of shitty human rights. Oh man!
That Cellar County special. We delivered assaults.
We delivered assault. We deliver assault, and we tell other people to fuck off. This is Butch and Coffee. We will see you next week.